Hello, Huckleberry.
Hello yourself and see how you like it. Wait, what do you got there?
Time capsule that I'm gonna bury. Do you want to help?
Alright. Oh, say, what you got in here, Tom? Where's 100 pounds?
Got some old treasures of mine.
Hey, Tom, what's this time box thing that you've been talking about?
It's a time capsule, not a time box. We learned about it in school. Becky told me. She said, you take some of your treasures, then you bury them in the ground. Then, when about 175 years pass, then somebody finds it and gets all my treasures.
Well, why would you want some kid to take all your treasures?
I don't know. Becky made it sound mighty fine.
Well, that does sound mighty fine to me. Hold up. Keep it going.
It's a little bit mighty hot out here, wouldn't you say?
Do you reckon we're getting close to this bury-in site, Tom?
I reckon so.
Oh, why couldn't you have done this tomorrow?
Do you know what day it is?
Tuesday.
Nope. Fix again.
I don't know, Tom. Just tell me already.
Today's Thursday, Huck. Tomorrow's Friday. There are some lucky days, maybe, but Friday ain't. And we don't want them witches snatching up our time capsule.
Alright, then I reckon we bury it before midnight.
I agree. Let's take a break here, Huck.
Yeah, alright. I could do for a smoke anyways. You want to smoke?
No, I'm good.
Suits yourself.
The makers of this film do not condone smoking of any kind.
Why would you look at that, Tom? Looks like them witches been a-spelling on the river now. It's been a long time since we've got ice on the river in this early summer.
Hope there's no witches in this area. We better get them moving then.
Keep your shirt on, I'm a-coming.
Come on, Huck. Take a side.
Alright.
Here, we can put it down because we're here, Hucky. Welcome to the Mississippi Forest.
Oh, Tom, are we almost there? My arms are hurting.
How about over there?
Alright.
We gotta be mindful of all these. My leg!
Oh!
Stick! Gotcha!
Oh, shucks. You was just playing coy all along. I knew it.
Yeah, sure you did, Huck.
Oh, let's just bury this. Hey, Tom, would you mind though if I added my own thing to your chest?
No. What do you want to add?
My corncob pipe, of course.
Sure. But you gotta be careful of the cat! Ah!
No animals or stuffies
were harmed in the during of this film.
Say, Tom, you have your shovel?
Yep. You have yours?
There. I reckon that's good.
Hey, wanna go crayfishing?
Why, sure. There was a nice spot over there.
Let's go.
Hey, what kind of shortcut is this? Are we almost there?
Yeah, we are. But shortcut's a shortcut. Hey, Tia. You gotta watch it for the that's a stick. Gotcha.
I'll just keep moving.
Hey, what's that?
Let's dig it up. Do you have a shovel?
Yep, you got yours?
Mm-hmm. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Here, let's take it over there.
Okay. Let's take it to the sun over there.
Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa. Look.
Look, there's a letter. Letters. Maybe it's from that Tom Sawyer kid.
Interesting.
It says, Dear future explorers, or better yet, pirates, anyone but my half-brother Sid. The name's Tom Sawyer, and my adventure begins in the summer of the 1840s, in my home, St. Petersburg, Missouri. I live along the Mississippi River with my strict Aunt Polly and my younger half-brother Sid, who is a glory of a snitch and a goody two-shoes. I don't like him very much. See package 1.
I have an idea. Ooh, interesting.
The spectacles belong to my dear Aunt Polly. I never would have called her dear Aunt Polly all that long ago. I would have said mean old Aunt Polly. The way that she'll look over ya over her spectacles would spend your blood running cold. But recent events have changed my view of her completely. I have come to realize that she sure does care for me, and shows this by being hard on me. Maybe I do deserve the punishments. Maybe I might be full of old scratch, Satan. Maybe I might torment her body a bit. The photo is of my evil half-brother Sid.
Sure looks pretty evil to me.
And if you ask me, he's filled with old scratch too. One example of how they treated me was that one evening during supper, after I met my new girl Becky, my spirits were so high that my aunt wondered what had gotten into me. I did receive my typical scolding, and I did get my knuckles rapped for trying to steal sugar. But when Aunt Polly stepped away from the table and into the kitchen, Sid reached for the sugar bowl, glorying over me, which was well nigh unbearable. And his fingers slipped, and the sugar bowl dropped and broke. I was in ecstasies, so much that I controlled my tongue and did not say anything. Sid was going to finally get it. But when Aunt Polly returned and stood over the wreck, she just discharged lightnings of wrath over her spectacles. Next thing I knew, I was sprawling on the floor and her potent palm was uplifted to strike again. So I cried, "Hold on now, what are you belting me for? Sid broke it." She then paused, perplexed, and I really thought she was going to show pity to me. But when she got her tongue again, she only said, "Oomph, well you didn't get a lick of miss, I reckon. You've been put into some other audacious mischief when I wasn't around, like enough." I could see she felt sorry for hitting me, but she judged that this would be construed into a confession that she had been in the wrong, and discipline forbade that. So she kept silence, and went about her affairs with a troubled heart. All I could do was picture the regret she would have if I turned up dead.
That poor boy.
Wow. There's another one.
Ooh.
See package 2. Now from one pirate to another, here's an easy way you can roll in wealth in a harvesting treasure adventure. It all happened on a Saturday morning when all the summer world was bright and fresh and brimming with life. There was a song in every heart, and if the heart was young, the music issued at the lips. There was a cheer in every face and a spring in every step. The locust trees were in bloom, and the fragrance of the blossoms filled the air. Cardiff Hill, beyond the village and above it, was green with vegetation, and it lay just far enough away to seem a delectable land, dreamy, reposeful, and inviting. I stood and noticed the 30 yards of board fence 9 feet high that I had to whitewash.
Wow, whitewashing. Today we call it painting.
All gladness left me, and a deep melancholy settled down upon my spirit. Life seemed hollow and existence but a burden. But I soon turned this around. How? I planned the slaughter of the innocents. There was no lack of material. Boys happened along every little while. They came to jeer, but remained to whitewash. How? I came to the understanding that in order to make a man or a boy covet a thing, it is only necessary to make the thing difficult to attain. So I pretended to enjoy washing the fence. Boys came in to trade their treasures for a chance to whitewash.
Treasures?
I went from poor and poverty-stricken in the morning to literally rolling in wealth by the middle of the afternoon. My wealth consisted of a partially eaten apple, a kite in good repair,
Ooh.
a dead rat, and a string to swing it with,
Nice.
12 marbles, part of a jew's harp, a piece of blue bottle glass, a spool cannon, a key, a fragment of chalk, a glass stopper of a decanter, a tin soldier, and a couple of tadpoles, 6 firecrackers, a kitten with only one eye,
One-eyed cat. Bet you lost its eye in the cat fight. I'm just gonna...
a brass doorknob, a dog collar minus the dog, a handle of a knife, 4 pieces of orange peel, and a dilapidated old window sash. What do you consider treasures? Are my treasures different than yours? These are the treasures valued by the boys in my time. We play with bugs like beetles and ticks and go to war with each other. We even make believe games by ourselves. Do you?
That sounds cool. You had a good life there. Smile.
Package 3. Becky. How did I happen to meet the girl of my dreams?
Ooh.
She was a new girl in the garden. She was a new girl in the garden. A lovely little blue-eyed creature with yellow hair plaited into long tails, a white summer frock, and embroidered pamphlets. I worshipped this new angel with furtive eye till I saw that she had discovered me. I pretended she was not impressed and began to show off in all sort of absurd boyish ways in order to win her admiration. After some time, I noticed her going towards her house. I went up to the fence and leaned on it, grieving and hoping she would tarry yet a while longer. She halted a moment on the steps and then moved toward the door. I heaved a great sigh as she put her foot on the threshold, but then my face lit up right away, for she tossed a pansy over the fence a moment before she disappeared. To avoid looking like I was interested in the flower, I discreetly moved over to the pansy. I grabbed the pansy with my toes and hopped away. We had so many more encounters too. Too many to mention. In the package there's a pansy she gave me. There's also a lock of her yellow hair. You do not want to know how I got this, or do you? Let's just say it required a pair of scissors and very fast running. Yet another wonderful encounter with my love. Package 4.
Wow, there's a lot of packages in here. We may be here a while.
Package 4. A biblical adventure. St. Petersburg is a village of church and superstition. An example that would be of a treasure I sought after and gained, my very own Bible. How did this happen? Before church, I traded some of the treasures I gained from whitewashing the fence for church tickets.
Ooh.
Our church gave tickets for memorizing scriptures, at which I had no skill. They were blue, red, and yellow tickets. 10 yellow tickets would give you a Bible worth 40 cents. I was the stunning surprise of the decade. There was now 2 marvels to gaze upon, in place of 1, Judge Thatcher and me. Mr. Walters, the superintendent of the Sunday school, wanted to show himself as a great teacher and handled a Bible prize and exhibit a protege. And guess who stood up with enough tickets? Me. The boys were all eaten up with envy, but those who suffered the bitterest pangs were those who perceived too late that they themselves had contributed to this hated splendor by trading tickets to me for the wealth I had amassed in selling whitewashing privileges. These despised themselves as being the dupes of a wily fraud, a guileful snake in the grass. Now this was all fun and great until I was asked to tell some of the things that I learned. I paused for a while. Then when I was asked to tell the first 2 appointed disciples, all was caving in on me. I could feel myself blush and my eyes fall. When asked the question again, I exclaimed, David and Goliath! Let's draw a curtain of charity over the rest of the scene. Wow.
He's an evil genius. An evil genius.
There's another one. Package 5. A superstitious adventure. Many people, including my Aunt Polly, are very superstitious. It gives us control over certain situations. An example of that would be removing warts. I felt spunk water is the cure.
Spunk water?
That must be it.
Interesting.
All the person goes alone in the middle of the woods where there is a spunk water stump. It's part of... I don't think you're supposed to drink it. Okay, so where there's a spunk water stump. When midnight comes, the person with the wart on his hand backs up to the stump and jams his hand inside while saying,
It's better that time.
I don't think you're supposed to drink it.
How do you know?
Because it says, the person with the wart on his hand backs up into the stump and jams his hand inside while saying, barleycorn, engine meal shorts, spunk water, swallow these warts.
Wait, so it's supposed to swallow the warts. You don't drink it.
No.
And I
Should've
regret
read
so
more.
much. I regret so much.
Then the person walks away swiftly, going 11 paces with his eyes closed. After this, he turns around 3 times. After doing these things, he walks home without talking to anyone, because if you speak to anyone, the charm's busted. Or Huck feels that if you take a dead cat and go and get in the graveyard long about midnight, when somebody that was wicked has been buried, and when it's midnight, a devil will come, or maybe 2 or 3. But you can't see him. You can only hear something like the wind, or maybe hear him talk. And when they're taking that feller away, you heave your cat after him, saying, devil follow corpse, cat follow devil, warts follow cat, I'm done with ye. That'll fetch any wart.
Interesting.
Other superstition I truly believe is that if a worm happens to come along and crawl across your leg, that means that you are going to get some new clothes. A worm crawled across my leg when I was on Jackson's Island with my friends. However, some witches must have been nearby, because I never did get my pirating uniform. The last superstition that I will relate to you is that Friday is an unlucky day.
No Fridays? That's the best day of the week, excluding Saturday and Sunday. How could somebody not like Friday?
Well, it says here that me and my friend Huck were gonna dig for buried treasure by a dead tree when Huck reminded me of this important belief of the unlucky day.
Ooh.
So instead of digging that day, we played Robin Hood all afternoon. Package 6, a murderous adventure. The knife used in a murder. When me and Huck went to the grave around midnight to get rid of his horse with a dead cat, we heard something we shouldn't have. When we approached the muffled voices from the far end of the graveyard, we recognized them as Muff Potter, Injun Joe, and Dr. Robinson. They dug up old Hoss Williams' body and dumped it on the ground. Not sure why, but maybe for medical experiments. Injun Joe started yelling that he wanted more money. Dr. Robinson said no. Injun Joe had not liked Dr. Robinson for a long time and wanted to kill him. A fight ensued. Injun Joe fell to the ground while Dr. Robinson knocked Muff Potter out with the gravestone. Injun Joe saw his chance and grabbed the knife and stabbed and killed Dr. Robinson. While Muff Potter was knocked out, Injun Joe put the knife in his hand. When Muff Potter came to, Injun Joe told him that he stabbed and killed the doctor. Me and Huck decided never to speak of this and took off. In the end, I testified in court that Injun Joe was the murderer.
Wow, they witnessed the murder.
Package 7, a pirate's life or adventure for me. When me and my friends had enough of the way we were being treated, we took off to Jackson's Island. It was me, Huck, and Joe Harper, and we wanted to be pirates. At midnight, we met at a lonely spot on the riverbank, 2 miles above the village. There we captured a small log raft. We each brought hooks, lines, and provisions and set sail for the island. About 2 a.m., we landed on the island with our broad hooks, lines, and and our adventures began. We built a fire and ate bacon and corn pone. In the package, you will find some sand from the banks on Jackson's Island.
Souvenir!
We spent many days swimming, fishing, smoking, eating, and playing games. Huck even taught us how to smoke with a corncob pipe. We were all homesick. Enclosed in the package is the corncob pipe and the letter I wrote to my Aunt Polly. I left the island secretly and snuck home to leave it for her. But then I came back with a better plan. Everyone thought we had drowned, and during the funeral service for us, we came in as live as can be. Package 8.
Wow, they faked their own deaths. Can't get away with that anymore these days.
Package 8. Another adventurous day in the life of a pirate. I took Huck to a private place and told him how robbers buried treasure everywhere, underground and even in haunted houses. We dug up ground all around the town, in the day and even after midnight. Holes were everywhere. Being afraid that witches and ghosts were fluttering around us, we decided we should try the haunted house on Saturday, since today was Thursday, and Friday was an unlucky day.
Wait, so if they were afraid of witches and ghosts around them, why would they want to go into a haunted house?
Because there's treasure, maybe. It says, me and Huck decided to play Robin Hood Friday. Saturday, shortly after noon, our haunted house adventure began. We entered the house and started looking around. While upstairs, we heard 2 men come in. We saw them. The old deaf and dumb Spaniard that we had seen around town lately, and another ragged and unkempt man that we did not know. When the Spaniard spoke, we recognized his voice. It was Injun Joe in disguise.
He's a master of disguise.
The men talked about a job they had to do, and then took a nap. We thought this might be a good time to escape, but because of the creaking floor, we decided to wait. In the package, there are some creaky floorboards. When the men finally woke, Injun Joe said that he had 650 silver and did not want to take it. He decided to hide in the floorboards, but as he was hiding the silver in the floorboards, his knife hit a box filled with gold. Injun Joe decided to hide it in his den, not in den number 1, but den number 2 under a cross.
This isn't gold. It's better. It's a true treasure. It's chocolate! Chocolate!
We could save that for later and have it later.
No wonder they found this as treasure.
Package 9. Me and Becky went and got into a new adventure in a cave while at her picnic. It was Saturday, and I was attending a picnic that was put on by Becky's mom. There was a whole lot of kids there, and after a while, some kids suggested that we go up into the cave. Of course, nobody declined. Everybody separated into groups, and I went with my angel. We must have trailed off and gotten lost because we couldn't find our way back. Nobody seemed to have come back, so Becky and I tried to find our way out on our own. Days went by, food was out. Well, the piece of cake I had in my pocket.
It's beautiful.
I suggest we leave that for later as well.
Fine.
And so were our candles out. Suddenly I spotted Injun Joe, and I was even more desperate to escape. In the darkness, I managed to find an exit point that was a small hole and took us out of the cave. It turns out we were down the stream from where the cave entrance actually was. Some people found us and took care of us for a while before we were escorted back to the village. It was Tuesday night by the time we got back. Wow.
Wow, you could actually trust strangers back then.
Package 10. The adventure that never ends. After me and Becky were well rested and back at home, Judge Thatcher told me that the cave had been locked and sealed for 2 weeks. That's when I said Injun Joe was in the cave. We found the half-breed starved and dead at the entrance to the cave. Me and Huck went back to the cave, and that's where I confessed to my pal Huck that I wanted to be a robber. We could start a gang, me, Huck, Joe Harper, and Ben Rogers. It will be called the Tom Sawyer Gang. Huck liked my idea. We used the secret entrance me and Becky escaped from, and we got in and searched for the treasure. We found it under a rock with a cross smoked into it, full of gold and guns.
More chocolate! Chocolate!
We brought the gold back. We brought the gold back to the town.
It's not loaded.
I hope. We brought the gold back to the town and would return later for the guns when we were ready to become robbers. We were forced to attend a widower's party, all dressed up in our Sunday best. The widower, who Injun Joe wanted to torture a little while back, was grateful to Huck for alerting the authorities. She was so grateful that she promised to take care of Huck. That is when I spilled the beans. I showed them all the gold and said half belongs to me and half belongs to Huck. Me and Huck...
They must have some chocolate left over. Half is for me, half is for you.
Me and Huck became very popular. I was happy with my riches, but not Huck. He ran away.
I'll be happy with chocolate.
He ran away from Widow Douglas and her clean, structured way of life. I found him and told him to go back if he wanted to be a robber in my gang. I said he must be respectable, and running away like he did wasn't. So he went back to give her another try. Our adventures continued with the initiation ceremony of becoming robbers. Look, it's the last one.
That means this is last
Package
day.
11. Do you have it?
Yeah, it's right here.
This here is a picture of the author of my life, Mark Twain.
Mark Twain?
Wait. Just kidding. Flip it over. It's Mark Twain.
Mark Twain?
Huh. Hey, look, there's like something, there's like writing on the bottom of the box.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, here.
Ooh.
It says, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. By Mark Twain. Hey, it's the guy who wrote the book.
You're right.
The author.
He must have been a wise old man. Here, let's pack up all this stuff. We shall start our new adventure tomorrow.